Hello students, welcome to my video number 34. Here in this video, we are going to continue with the story, The Stolen Bacillus, which we have already started, and this much we had done. And I hope you all must be interested to know what happened next. So let us continue. From here we will continue today. The pale-faced man nodded. His eyes shone. He cleared his throat. These anarchists, rascals, said he, are fools, blind fools, to use bombs when this kind of thing is available, I think. So, seeing those living bacteriums in the living dangerous bacteriums in that tube, he got very excited, and in his excitement, he uttered these words, which showed his happiness after knowing that there are such living bacteriums which can bring about destruction, devastation. So that was something little disturbing to the bacteriologist. But like he kept on saying, and he was still, they were still communicating with each other. A gentle rap. After that, what happened? A gentle rap, a mere light touch of the fingernails was heard at the door. Somebody knocked very slightly, softly with the fingernails on the door. The bacteriologist opened it. Just a minute, dear, whispered his wife. So his wife wanted to talk to him for something. So she just called him to come and talk to him. So this bacteriologist, he left the lab and went to talk to his wife. In the meantime, when he returned, after having conversation with his wife, when he returned, let us see what happened. When he re-entered the lab, the laboratory, his visitor was looking at his watch. When he came back to his lab, he saw a different kind of behavior of the visitor. He was looking at his watch. I had no idea I had wasted an hour of your time, he said. 12 minutes to 4. I ought to have left here by 3:30. But your things were really too interesting. No, positively, I cannot stop a moment longer. I have an engagement at 4. So he was looking in hurry. He just said that I have used so much of your time and I must leave now. I should have left by 3:30. But I have taken so much of your time. But the things that you showed were very interesting, and now I must not waste a single minute and leave from here. So this attitude of the visitor made the bacteriologist little worried and little confused that why he was behaving like that. He passed out of the room, repeating his thanks, and the bacteriologist accompanied him to the door and then returned thoughtfully along the passage to his lab. How he gloated on those cultivations of disease germs. A disturbing thought struck him. Now, when he came back, he kept on thinking about his behavior, and also he was thinking the excitement and happiness that he showed when he saw the living bacteriums, those dangerous bacteriums. And then he returned thoughtfully along the passage. Thoughtfully here, that he was little disturbed. He was thinking all those things that happened, the way he behaved, all that, and it was making him little disturbed. Now, how he gloated on those cultivation of disease germs. So two things disturbed him. One was the happiness that he showed when he saw the tube of disease germs, and the second thing, when he re-entered his lab, the way he behaved, he was in hurry to leave from there. These two things made him little disturbed. A disturbing thought struck him. He turned to the bench by the vapor bath and then very quickly to his writing tube. He came back to his place, and then when he put his hand in his pocket, then he felt hastily in his pockets. Hastily means hurriedly he tried to check his pockets and then rushed to the door. After finding nothing in the pocket, he rushed to the door. I may have put it down on the hall table, he said. Now we know what he must be looking for. He was looking for that tube of bacteriums and the living bacteriums which he was showing to the visitor when the wife called him, and he left the lab with the visitor in there and went out from there. So after returning, all this was happening, and he now could not remember where he kept that tube. Then he called out to his wife. It was it was something very much disturbing and annoying to him. He called out to his wife, Minnie. He shouted hoarsely in the hall. He shouted with a hoarse voice, very rough voice. He called out the name of his wife. Yes, dear, came a distant voice. The wife replied, Had I anything in my hand when I spoke to you, dear, just now? He just asked that, was I carrying anything in my hand when I was talking to you? She said, nothing, dear, because I remember. So she made it clear that no, nothing, you had nothing in your hand. Blue ruin, cried the bacteriologist, and immediately ran to the front door and down the steps of his house to the street. Now he understood what all have happened with him. Blue ruin, that is a exaggeration of the this destruction, the thing that happened with him. He felt very much annoyed and very much worried what all happened, and he understood what all happened. That tube was missing, the man was in hurry to leave from there. All that he came to the conclusion what has happened there. Minnie, hearing the door slam violently, ran in alarm to the window. Now Minnie, she was hardly aware of these things. She was busy in her work, and when she heard the door slam violently, she ran in alarm to the window. In alarm means in surprise after hearing that door slamming so violently. She ran out to the window. Down the street, a slender man was getting into a cab. The bacteriologist, hatless and in his carpet slippers, was running and gesticulating widely towards this group. So from the window, the wife saw that there was a slender man. Slender means a slim man. He was getting into a cab, and the bacteriologist, who was hatless, means without his hat on, and in his carpet slippers, that is the slippers that he was wearing in his house, he just went out like that without taking much care of the way he was going out, without hat and in his carpet slippers. He was running, gesticulating wildly towards the group. So he was gesticulating widely towards the group, means here he was just giving some gestures, signaling something towards this group. This group means the cab having the driver and this man, the slender man who was the visitor. One slipper came off, but he did not wait for it. His one slipper was also left there only, and he was still running without that one slipper. And the wife was very much confused. What has happened to this man, to her husband? He has gone mad, said Minnie. It's that horrid science of his. Now she blamed the science, the study of science that the bacteriologist does for his such behavior. The slender man pointed hastily to the bacteriologist, said something to the cabman. The apron of the cab slammed, the whip swished, the horse's feet clattered, and in a moment the cab, with the bacteriologist hotly in pursuit, had receded up the vista of the roadway and disappeared round the corner. Now we can imagine this scene here. This bacteriologist is running behind this cab. The cab is carrying that visitor, and the visitor said something to the cabman. Maybe he must have said that, just hurry me away from here and drive the cab fast. Something like that he must have said to escape from that place, to escape from this bacteriologist, to move away from there faster. So that is, he said something, the apron of the cab slammed. That is, the door of the cab was slammed, it was closed, and whip swished. Whip is, we know that the belt, that leather belt that is attached with the horse's face, with which they direct the directions of the cab. So that was given by the cabman, and the horse's feet clattered, and the next moment the cab was out of sight. The bacteriologist was hotly in pursuit. Hotly means he was angrily running. In pursuit means chasing the cab, and was running. Had receded, but this cab, of course, he was running on his foot and running on his feet, and this cab will, of course, he won't be able to catch it. So it was just out of the sight the next moment, and it disappeared. Next, let us see. Minnie hastily put her bonnet on, seized his shoes, went into the hall, took down his hat and light overcoat from the pegs, emerged upon the doorstep and hailed the cab that luckily crawled by. Drive me up the road and round Havelock Crescent, and see if we can find a gentleman running about in a velveteen coat and no hat. Now this wife was worried for her husband. He went out in his carpet slippers without hat. So she was worried, and she also got worried the way he was running on the street. She was worried to see what all had happened with him. And on the other side, we see that this bacteriologist is too much tensed and worried. He must have understood that the tube was taken away by this visitor, and he had some cunning intentions in his mind. And because he was talking about all those kind of things only, the excitement, the happiness, whatever he showed to the bacteriologist, they brought this bacteriologist to the conclusion that this man had some bad intentions in his mind, and that is why he stole that tube and ran away with it. So this bacteriologist cannot take such a risk where the whole city would come into big danger. That is why he started chasing him, so that he could get back that tube from this visitor. Now the wife also, what she did, let us see. She put her bonnet, that is the hat, the woman hat. She seized his shoes, means she took the shoes of her husband, and went to the hall, and she took down his hat and light overcoat from the pegs. She took his hat, his overcoat from the pegs. Pegs are the hangers. And then she went out, called a cab, and she directed the cab to go to that place. What place? Havelock Crescent. And she gave him the instruction that we need to find a gentleman running with a velveteen coat and no hat. So here, after that, the man in the foremost cab sat crouched in the corner, his arms tightly folded, and the little tube that contained such vast possibilities of destruction gripped in his hand. He had only to make sure of the water supply and break the little tube into a reservoir. How brilliantly he had planned it, forged the letter of introduction, and got into the laboratory, and how brilliantly he had seized his opportunity. He craned out of the cab. The bacteriologist was scarcely 50 yards behind. That was bad. He would be caught and stopped yet. So, this is all. The man in the foremost cab, that is the visitor, he was sitting in the corner of the cab, and he was holding that tube very tightly, and his arms were tightly folded, and the little tube that contained such vast possibilities, that little tube was containing such big destruction. It was in his grip, and he had only to make sure of water supply. So he had to only go to the place from where the water is supplied to the city and break the little tube into the reservoir. That was the only thing he required to do next. That was all going on in his mind at that time. How brilliantly he had planned. So it was all his plan. What he did, he took some fake letter of introduction. Means he went to the bacteriologist saying that he had been sent by some of his friends, friend of the bacteriologist. And he took one fake letter of introduction, and that is why the bacteriologist took him to his lab. And this all was his plan, and finally he got to this thing, he got the tube, and everything was working according to his plan. He craned out of the cab. All these things were going on in his mind at that time. Then he craned out. Look at this word, crane, means he looked out from the window of the cab to see if the bacteriologist was still chasing him. And when he looked out, craned out, means we know crane is a bird which has a very long neck. So here the noun crane is used as verb, craned out, like he stretched his neck out, his head out to see nicely if the bacteriologist was chasing him or not. And what he saw that the bacteriologist was scarcely 50 yards behind. Means just 50 yards. 1 yard is a little less than a meter. That is around 50 meters behind. That was bad. Means that much distance he would be able to catch this visitor, and then he could get into some trouble. He would be caught and stopped yet. So he was now scared that what will happen to him if this man, the bacteriologist, happened to get hold of him. So this is all was going on in his mind, and we are going to stop here. We will continue from here in the next video. Till then, everybody, take care and God bless you all.